Namaste and good morning, everyone. Let's start our class with some prayers. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parbrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhu Bhava Swaha, Tat Savitra Vareneyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat, Asto Ma Satgamya, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गम्या ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहि तेजस्वी नावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहि ओम शांति 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 ओम. Let's start with the invocation which is given in this Upanishad to us. And the name of this Upanishad is Taittiriya Upanishad. Om Shanno Mitraha Sham Varnaha Shanno Bhavatu Aryama Sham no Indro Brihaspati Sham no Vishnu Urukrama Namo Brahmne Namate Vayo Tvam Eva Pratyaksham Brahm Asmi Tvam Eva Pratyaksham Brahm Vadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tat Mam Avatu Tat Vaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti 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 Om. See two terms over here, Ritam Vadishyami, Satyam Vadishyami. See, Satyam is truth, the absolute truth. And Ritam is the way to remain truthful. Ritam. Okay. So sometimes people say that Satya is good and Ritam is right. But Ritam is about these worldly things, how we do our conduct. That's why this conduct is mentioned in this Upanishad quite a bit. Our day-to-day behavior. That's very important. So last week we did the first verse of this section where it says Ya Chandasam Rishbha Vishwarupa Chandobhya Adhi Amritat Sambhuva. So we talked about that. Now let's look at the second one in this section. Avahanti Vitnvanaha Kurvanaha Achiram Atmana Vangasi Mam Gavach Anpane Cha Sarvada Tataha Me Shriyam Avah Lom Sham Pashubhi Sah Swaha Amayantu Brahmacharinaha Swaha Vimayantu Brahmacharinaha Swaha Pramamyantu Brahmacharinaha Swaha Damyayantu Brahmacharina Swaha Shamayantu Brahmacharina Swaha. Avahanti, that means bringing. Vitramanaha Kurvanaha, multiplying. Vitramana means multiplying. Kurvana, producing, acting. Achiram, without delay. Atmanaha, self. Vangasi, clothes. Mam means my, gavaha, cows. Cha means and. An means food, pane means drink. Cha is and, sarvada, for all the times. Tataha, afterwards. Me for me. Shriyam, prosperity. Avaha, bringing. Lom sham, hairy animals. Pashubhi, cattle. Sah means with. And swaha is like when we make the offering, we say swaha. It's almost like it marks the end of what we are saying, swaha. It's almost like the way we write the formula. A means all along, ma means to me, yantu may come, brahmacharinaha, celibate students, brahmachari. V means various, like a various directions. Ma to me, yantu may come, brahmacharina, the celibate students. Pra means much, like a large number. Ma means to me, yantu may come, brahmacharina, the celibate students. Dama yantuhu, self-controlled, brahmacharina swaha. Shama yantu, be peaceful. So it's like a dam and a sham. Dam is a control over the senses, sham is the peaceful mind. Brahmacharina swaha. So teacher, the guru, is reciting this. He says, "Oh Lord, let prosperity be mine, consisting in hairy animals along with the cattle. May fortune produce for me without delay and for all time, bringing continuously and in ever multiplying proportions food and drinks, clothes and cattle. All along may celebrate students thirsty to know come to me. May they come to me from distant places and from all directions. May the students anxious to gain the knowledge of Brahma control their senses. May the students anxious to live the knowledge of Brahma be peaceful." So here we have a prescription for a sacred ritualism, which is performed by this teacher, the Guru. Wealth in the hands of a good person, self-controlled person, is the wealth well used. Otherwise, wealth in the hands of unprepared intellects or uncultured personality, it's almost like a suicidal to that person, and it's a very threat to the society also. Stability of the society. So it's almost like a hand. If you put a knife in a hand of a young child, can cut himself, harm others. But knife, the same knife in the hand of a mature person will be used properly. That's how the wealth is too. So the Vedic teachers, they indicated the desire for wealth can bring the blessings only when the individual has been educated and cultivated the noble qualities of the head and the heart. Sham and the Dam both. Enduring values in the personality are needed. So that's why in this verse, he said, why afterwards? See, it's like afterwards, let prosperity be mine. Avahanti vintuvanaha kurvanaha achiram atmana. It's like almost like it's saying that afterwards. Why afterwards? That means once I have the discrimination, once I know what to do with the money, once I have a good health also, spirit of tolerance also, and irresistible impatience to serve others also. So he is asking for all that. Why? Because he wants to teach. So whether it's a temple or whether it's a house or whether it's an ashram, Maintenance is needed. And that's what he's asking for. But he says, first I have cultivated these qualities. Once I have these qualities, because without these qualifications, wealth becomes a dangerous weapon. Remember that. Okay. And in those days, wealth was typically measured in terms of cattle and the sheep. Why the sheep? Long-haired animal. Because these rishis, they lived on the mountains. Wool was essential to keep them warm. That's why long-haired animals. And the cattle, they need milk from the cattle. So the basic necessities this guru is asking, and not just for himself. He says, I need it multifold because I want to spread this knowledge to multitude of people. I want those students to come to me who are hungry for this kind of a knowledge. So riches can be justified and enjoyed only by the mission that it fulfills. He is not hungry for the wealth for himself. He's a guru. He doesn't have any need. But for a great and noble cause, even these days, don't we see to run the great universities? Even the professors are asked to collect some funds, go to some good people who can leave some money for the universities. Or they will go to the alumni. I still get the calls from the university I went to. It's our duty. So that those universities, they can stay alive so that they can help the students who are seeking for further knowledge. Because ambition of each student has been molded by the teachers at the very time of their early initiation. It's like a great impressions are put into the minds of those youngsters. So this is almost like a ritual where we are invoking God, please God, help me. So both the teacher and the student demanded together that students of intelligence and self-control, of moral and ethical purity, emotional stamina, psychological stability, these are the qualities we need. And then he says, from all directions, I want the students to come to me, far and near. It's not only from this place or that place. Anybody can come, doors are open. And I'm ready to teach. That's what this guru is saying. So this Vedic knowledge being not only a theory of perfect life, but also being a technique of perfect living. We read in these verses. This is our great Hindu culture. Not just to recite the mantras, but with the help of that recitation, there's some kind of a chiseling in our personality also. That's what I read in this one. We got to be ready to live these values. This is Brahm Vidya. So he says the students of the Brahm Vidya from all over, may they come to me so that I can make a difference in this lifetime. But must have ample self-control in their outward life. That is the Dham. And their calmness in their inward being, that is Sham. Those are very basic qualifications for a student. Sham and Dham. Let's look at next one. Yashaha jane asani swaha shreyan vasyasa asani swaha tam tva bhag parvishani swaha sa bhag parvisha swaha tasmin sahasra shake bhag aham tavai nimrije swaha यथा आपा प्रवतः यान्ति यथा मासः अहर्जरम् एवं मां ब्रह्मचारिणः धाता अयन्तु सर्वथा स्वाहा प्रतिवेशा असि मा प्रभाहि मा प्रपद्यस्व. Yash means successful. Jane, among people. Asani, may I become. Shreyan, among the prosperous. Vasyasa, superior. Asani, may I become. Tam means that. Tva means you. Bhag. Bhag is a lord of prosperity. Bhag. That's where the Bhagwan. Bhag is a lord of prosperity. Pravishani, may I iterate. Pravishani. Sa means you, Bhag, Lord of Prosperity. Pravishaha, enter into. Tasmin sahasra shakhe. Tasmin is in that self. Sahasra, 1,000. Shakhe means branches. So into that 1,000 branches. Bhag, O Lord, aham I, tavei in you. Nimrije, cleanse myself. Yatha, as apaha, water, pravataha yanti, flows downwards. Yatha, as masaha, months, harjaram, the year. Evam also mam me brahmacharina, celibate students. Dhataha, O Lord, I am to come sarvata, from all places. Prativeshaha, refuge. Asi, you are. Ma means me. Prabhahi, beam upon. Ma mean pradhyasva, come or possess. Pradhyasva. May I become successful among the people. Because students will go to a guru who is successful. Nobody wants the company of an unsuccessful. May I become superior among the rich. Over here, rich really means the rich in the values. O Lord of prosperity, may I enter into you. May you enter into me. The oneness, the yoga. In that self of thine, with 1,000 branches, O Lord, may I purify myself from all my sins. As water flows downwards, as months fly into years, so too, O Creator, may students of Brahm Vidya come to me from everywhere. You are the refuge. Beam upon me. It's like, hey, keep on giving me your blessings. So this is the continuation of the previous verse. It's like a ritual. And this mantra is revealing more and more the nobility of the intentions and the purity of the ambition by the upasak. Want the riches for what? To help others. Want to be known? Why? So that people can know me and I can impart knowledge. I can help others. At the same time, he's saying, enter into me so that I purify myself. When the purest of the pure enter inside us, only then we can purify ourselves. If the money is entering into us, we are not pure. If the Maya is entering into us, we get muddy. But he says, I want to stay close to you. You enter into me. So this worshipper, whether it's a guru or a disciple, because all of them are chanting actually, they want to become famous among the people of the Brahm Vidya and living a very balanced life. So this guru wants to live up to the ideal of his philosophy, not just only talking about the philosophy, but he wants to live up to those ideals also. And he's praying to God, may I become superior among the rich, meaning let me not only be a mere mule carrying the weight of gold. I don't want to be that, but I want to become the intelligent master who is able to bless the world, who can teach the students. So riches over here really means more than just worldly riches. Superior to those who are wealthier than himself. Wealth just by itself is no mark of nobility. It becomes so only when that wealth can serve the society. If we can help somebody with our wealth, that is the real wealth. If we become arrogant with our wealth, it could be not just only the material wealth, it could be knowledge also. We can recite all the Vedas. We can recite the Bhagavad Gita. But if we become arrogant, that is not a wealth. So in order to become pure in living, we must gain a clean and divine heart. And the method by which we can purify ourselves and keep that bright shine, he says, through the many branches of the Vedas, Vedic mantras, when I recite, they just keep on cleaning me. And that is, what are we cleaning off? The sins, the path. Because the sin is that which covers the effulgence of the soul. Our own light, when it's covered, that is a sin. So sin is not just a blemish, it's a mistake in judgment. We identify with the wrong, that is a sin. If we identify ourselves just the body, that's a sin. Out of ignorance, we don't know who we are. So every saint has a past. So we should remember that we should not judge others. And every sinner has a future. It's a common saying among the philosophers. So the moment we correct ourselves, in other words, correct our thinking, and we understand the mistakes we have made in the past, we will start walking on the path of purity, path of the virtue. But this difficulty is felt by the practitioners. That's why it's very important to pray to God. We need the help of God also. Because we have seen that every action, every thought leaves an impression upon our mental world. And every following thought and action has a tendency to repeat itself. So if we think that we can do it all by ourselves, we can't. So that's why only way we can redeem ourselves from our mistakes is to get that guidance, to get that strength from something higher than us. Otherwise, old patterns of thoughts, they keep on coming in the way. So the erasing of the wrong patterns and rewriting those unhealthy lines of thinking, these are the methods prescribed in the Vedas. How to correct it? And the method advised again and again is the constant and repeated chanting and jap of the mantra of pranav om. It's like I keep pouring the clean water into that dirty bottle. Pranav. Om is the most excellent essence in all the Vedas. And that's what he means over here, into 1,000 branches. Om is mentioned thousands and thousands of times in the Vedas. Om. So two brilliant examples he is giving over here in this mantra. For the upasana's sake, he is requesting to God that lead my students from far and near, just like a water gushes downward. So they should keep on coming to me. I just want to help more and more. Give me the opportunity to serve. And then another example, he says, I mean, we can relate to this at this age, especially dynamic picture which brings into our mind as months flow into and merge with years. We are already into the 9th month of this year. How from January to September it came. Almost like a flow or a flash. So he says, I want the students to come to me like that so that I can teach them. Next verse. Bhu bhuva suva itive etaha tisraha vyahrityah tasam uha etam chaturthim mahachamsah pravedyate maha iti tat brahma sa atma angani anya devataha. Bhu, the world. Bhuva, the sky. Okay, so world over here means this earth. For us, this is our world, the earth. Swa, the next world, beyond the sky. Iti means thus, ve means verily, etaha, these, tisraha, three. So these three, bhu, bhava, swa, vyahrityah. That means it's a short utterances of the mystical significance. Okay, this is called a vyahrityah. The sum of those who, in addition to her, means, of course, etam, this, chaturthim, the fourth, chaturth. Mahachamseha, this is there is a rishi by the name of Mahachamas. So Mahachamasya means the son of Mahachamas. Pravedyate, knowing by intuition, proclaimed. Maha, iti means thus, tat means that, Brahma, sa means he, Atma, Angani, the limbs, Anya, others, Devata, gods. Bhu, Bhava, and Swa are the three short utterances of mystical significances. In addition to these, there is, of course, the fourth one, Maha, made known by the seer Mahachamasya. That is Brahma. This Maha is compared to body. Other gods are its limbs. Sa Atma Angani Anya Devata. So again, this is for the Upasana. There are a lot of Upasanas in this Upanishad. So this section, this is a new section. Section opens up with another method of Upasana, the meditation. If the previous 5 did not work for you, if they worked, one of them worked, do the meditation on that. But suppose that did not, then maybe this will work. So the terms bhu, bhuva, swa, those are like a different fields of experiences which mind can indulge in. Mind can think about this earth. Mind can think about the sky. Mind can think about another world also. Each one of them is considered to be subtler than the other. Sky is subtler than the earth. Another world is subtler than the sky. So bhu is the grosser, bhuva is a subtler, and swa is subtlest. So bhu, bhuva, swa. So subtler plane not only transcends the grosser, but it's also at once eminent in the grosser plane. So, but over here in this verse, he says there is yet another plane called Maha, which is subtler than the former 3. That's why he called it Chaturtha. Chaturthim. So the plane of experience, this was cognized by a great rishi called Mahachamasya. So that's why the rishis afterwards, they named it after him. He said, this is the experience must be called Maha. And this experience is a Tat Brahma. Something which is subtler than the subtlest must be Brahma. So compared with the earlier 3, the 4th is at once transcendent and eminent, and it's called Brahma. This is what this verse is telling us. And he says that in your body, if you want to come back to this because you are familiar with this body, Maha is the body and the others are only its limbs. We all know that limbs in themselves will not make the body. Put all the limbs separate, they are only the limbs. In order to call it a body, they got to be joined together. So the term body incorporates all the limbs. When we say Brahma, Maha has the Bhu also, Bhuva also, and the Swa also. It's not that Brahma is somewhere else. Brahma is very much part and parcel of this. Just like a body is in each and every limb of ours. So the true import of what this master meant by demanding that their students do certain types of superimpositions like this for the meditation. For the meditation, if we can take our mind outside and see Brahma everywhere, good. But if we cannot do that, sit down. Try to see Brahma right here. In the limbs also, and which is called the body also. So let me read it again. I just love this verse because it really brings our attention to such a subtle part of this creation. Bhu bhuva swa iti ve etaha tisraha vyahitriya tasam uha etam chaturtim mahachamasya pravadete maha iti tat brahma sa atma angani anya devta. Let's look at next one. Bhu iti va ayam lokaha bhuva iti antriksham swa iti asau lokaha maha iti adityaha Adityen vav sarve lokaha mahiyante. Again, bhu, the earth, this world. Iti, thus, where, verily. Ayam lokaha, this world. Bhuva iti, what is known as bhuva? Antariksham, the sky. Suva iti, what is known as a suva. See, there is a suva and swaha. Two different words, remember that. In the previous verses, we saw that swaha. This is suva. Okay. So what is known as suva? Asau. Next. Lokaha, world. Maha iti, what is known as Maha? Aditya, the sun. Adityen, by the sun. Vav, indeed. It's like a verb, ev, indeed. Survey all, lokaha, world. Mahiyantehe, are nourished. Bhu is this world. Bhuva is the sky. Suva is the next world. Maha is the sun. It is by the sun that all worlds are nourished. So this is again, he's giving us a technique of upasana. So superimposition. So this earth, sky, beyond, and the sun. So the fourth vehitri over here, Maha, represents a factor subtler than all the other three. So, and we know that the sun as the source of all energy, and not just the energy alone, but the light also, must be nourishing all the planes of experiences. Okay, so he's calling that Maha is the sun over here. So he says, if you want to just think like this, without the sun, no light. Without the sun, no heat. So Maha is the sun, Aditya. Because if you really cannot visualize Brahma, Maha as Brahma, just think the sun. Take your attention there at least. Do the upasana on the sun as the Brahma. If you cannot do that, he says, Bhu iti ve agni, bhuva iti vayu, suva iti adityaha, maha iti chandrama, chandrama saha vav sarvani, jyotirvachi mahiyante. Bhu iti, what is known as Bhu? Where means verily, Agni, fire. Bhuva iti vayu, bhuva, what is known as bhuva? Vayu, the air. Suva iti, what is known as a suva? Aditya, the sun. Maha iti, what is known as Maha? Chandrama. Somebody can say that I don't see the sun during the daytime. And I want to do it at night, this meditation, this upasana. He says, okay, Maha can be Chandrama also. The moon. Chandramasa, by the moon. Vav, indeed, Sarvani, all. Jyotingashi, vitalities. Mahiyante, thrive. So Bhu is fire. Bhuva is air. Suva is the sun. Maha is the moon, he says now. Indeed, it is by the moon that all vitalities thrive. So he's giving another set of superimpositions to us. Not to confuse us, but if previous one did not work, use this. And we don't have to use all of them. Whatever works for us. So the same truth that Maha transcends all the previous three. This is what he's trying to take our mind to. Maha or the Brahma is beyond. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna said, there is a Maya, then there's a Jivatma, then there is a me, and there's nothing beyond me. So it is like he is creating a foundation for us so that we can, when we sit down and we are meditating, these are the examples we can use. So over here he says Maha is to be considered, it can be considered as the moon also. And in the Vedic literature, moon is considered the source of all essence in the vegetable kingdom, or even the physical vitality in a person, moon. It is the moon that is considered as the presiding deity of the mind also. It has been experienced that there's an intimate relationship between the moon and the mental condition of a person. When we look at some farmers who did the organic planting, they prepare the seeds for the next crop by not drying up in the sun, but traditionally they were taught to leave the seeds overnight to expose them to the moonlight for the added nourishment into those seeds. So there's an intimate connection between the vitamin contents or even the caloric potential in the vegetables when they are exposed to the moonlight, or if they are not exposed to the moonlight. There's enough data justified to this, the Vedic truth. So moon is the nourisher of the world of matter. This great teacher is not stopping just here. He says, if this doesn't make sense to you, I'm going to give you another method of upasana. So right now we are just only learning these different methods of upasana. If something is working for you, continue with that. But if you want to do a little experiment with these different upasanas, do that. Pay some attention. Learn first, then practice. And then experience. Ultimately, it has to be your experience. Just like that Rishi, Mahachamasya. He said Brahma is the Chaturth. There are 4 layers, but there's something beyond these 3. There's a 4th layer. Chaturth. So they are not saying that just take it and just have a blind faith, experience it. We are just giving you a little help with these examples, with these upasanas. So we'll see what is said in the next one next week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti 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 Om. Thank you very much.